Hello everybody and welcome to Alex Bytes and welcome to the very first cast that I will be doing on this channel. Hello and welcome aboard. So, we'll be doing a cast on a game that I have been enjoying for quite a little while now, Supreme Commander. And this is going to be Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance Forever, to be specific, the multiplayer client slash mod thingy that people are using to play Supreme Commander to this day. So, the format idea that I've got here is that I'll just be casting random replays found inside the replay vault and see about having a good time. Now, disclaimer, 1, this is the first cast, so quality has yet to be determined, and also I'm still fairly inexperienced with this game, so I might not be able to catch stuff at a glance and might miss some things as we're doing it, but with that in mind, your question, comments, and concerns are welcome. I hope that you have as much fun watching as I do casting, and without further ado, let's finish this introduction and go into the game. Alright, let's get this game started. We'll unpause the game and launch right into our player introductions. Up in the top side here, we've got, I'm going to go ahead and call him Carlos. And we'll go ahead and split that screen so we have an idea of what's going on for both players. Down in the bottom here, we've got Skytro. It looks like, now I don't recognize these guys at a glance, but it looks like I've got UEF and UEF, and it looks like they are both starting off Land Factory, because that is indeed a pretty common start. Now, as a heads up, I probably said this in the introduction, but I am not well versed in the game so far, so apologies in advance if I do miss a few things as we're doing stuff up. So it looks like both players have got their Land Factories up and are starting, it looks like engineers, because of course, we gotta get that build capacity up right away. And we'll just go ahead and speed things up just a few notches here in the beginning. While there is not much going on, we've got still building going, and it looks like this engineer is running to... What's that engineer running to do? It looks like he's going to go ahead and build a hydrocarbon power plant right away, which is going to get his power spiking as soon as he's actually able to get it down. And meanwhile, these engineers here are going to be working on the mass extractors. We can see Carlos here pumping out that mass. Has already got a little bit of a lead, but it's not very great of one, so we'll see how it works out. And meanwhile, Skytro here has got his engineer running clear to the other side of the map. He is pretty excited to go ahead and start expanding there. We'll go ahead and see if that early expansion does him well. Meanwhile, he hasn't really gotten any land units out, and it looks like we've got the very first medium tanks going out for Carlos. If we take a look at his move path, that early expansion up here for Skytro is not going to serve him very well, because we've got, let's go ahead and just put these screens together. We don't need split screen at the moment. That's what the mini-map's for. Anyway, it looks like this guy's going to come right down and take out that early mass extractor, so it looks like that early expansion from Skytro isn't going to serve him very well at all, because this tank is going to come right up to it and say, no thank you, good sir, no mass on my side of the map for you. And a couple shots in, and down that engineer goes. Ouch, that hurts for him. It looks like Skytro here, claiming those two, got a early mass lead, but that's quickly going to get shut down as soon as that tank runs forward and takes that extractor out. But that is not the end of the aggression. We've got a few scouts and tanks coming in, so it looks like Skytro here, with his absolute zero amount of land units, is going to be suffering for it. If we take a look at the player scores up here, we've got Carlos here with a decent global auto score. Skytro looks like he hasn't played any games, so he may be fairly inexperienced with the game. So hey, at least he's trying, you know? It's hard to really ham on someone too much when they are new. It looks like Carlos here is claiming his hydrocarbon. After him, let's take a look at the power supplies. It looks like they are both doing pretty decent. Skytro here is indeed stockpiling a little bit of mass, and unfortunately, the couple tanks that he had built just smashed right into Carlos's tanks, and Carlos had the numbers to clear them up without too many losses. But it looks like Skytro here is going to try once again to get over on that side of the map. We'll see if he has any luck, but he's going to have to be able to hold off this assault from Carlos, and so far it looks like he'll do okay. His commander is right in front, so he's going to have no problem getting in. And we've got a scout here from Skytro to go ahead and see what's up, and indeed what he's going to see is that he really needs some better land defense. For the moment, his commander will do alright, but eventually he's going to want some land units. A little bit more than those two tanks. Meanwhile here, Carlos here is committing to the land unit building. He's already got himself 4 land factories, and indeed, now that he sees a few bombers coming out, or maybe just in response to the air scout, it looks like he's finally decided to get an air factory going up. Hopefully he'll get that in time to deal with the attack bombers. And it looks like these forces have decided to stop waiting and just charge across, which I think is personally a pretty good idea, because there's practically 0 defenses here at the moment. Not even any... Yeah, we don't even have any point defenses, so pretty much all Skytro really has to defend with is his armored command unit, and that can't hold up forever. Meanwhile, this expansion over on the left is going to get shut down by this little group of tanks. An excellent little move there, just to make sure that he has no chance. And indeed, we're going through. And it looks like the bombers currently have absolutely no response, so it looks like Carlos might regret the fact that he didn't get air up sooner, but he won't regret it for long, because there comes the very first interceptor rushing in to start taking out the bombers. And in fact, Skytro here has bomber in production, another thing here, so he currently is going to have 0 response for the interceptors, so these bombers are going to have a little bit of fun here to take units out, but they aren't going to last for long. They will get shut down. Meanwhile, Carlos here moving forward with his armored command unit, just taking out those tanks, and it looks like he's going to maybe try to go for a flank around the back on Skytro's armored command unit, which is going to go pretty bad for Skytro. Looks like he still does not have many units coming out. If we take a look at his thing, he's definitely got a bit of mass here. If he just had a few more factories to pump out units, he's set. But unfortunately, it looks like Skytro's commanders come out here, and he is definitely going to get taken out. While he had an early lead on Carlos's health here at 30,000 versus about 60,000, you do have a large amount of tanks here to keep doing the damage. Unfortunately, Carlos had a maneuver. Let's just slow things down real quick. Carlos tried to maneuver across the river to get away from Skytro, which put him out of range of his tanks. So now his armored command unit is completely alone and doesn't have actually any support. Looks like Skytro's increased health is indeed going to get him through, and Carlos almost had this in the bag, but his little maneuver across the river there, it looks like it cost him the game. And in just a few shots more, Skytro's getting pretty close, and he's got it down. But unfortunately, he was right next to Carlos's exploding command unit, and he lost as a result. So it looks like that game, which unfortunately started off in Carlos's pocket there, unfortunately his little maneuver across the river there with his armored command unit cost him dearly. And Skytro unfortunately standing just a little bit close, unable to kill that without killing his own commander, so they both went down. And that was our game there. A quick little match there, but nice little fun back and forth between the players. Hope you enjoyed it.